Cars are about to roll out now for our first session, and this is going to be an elimination qualifying where 18 cars advance to beat the ultimate pit lane is now open. They roll out in a blaze of glory. All the cars back to a pristine state after a brutal evening last night for many of them. And just recapping the facts so far this weekend, a couple of Boost Mobile pole positions for Cam Waters, resulting in a couple of victories, but last night's by the ridiculous margin of 3/100ths of a second. So, we've got 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Here we go. Pull those belts tight, head down. Maximum attack, millimetre precision is required on this big lap. And the master of the craft so far this weekend has been Cam Waters. But you heard in the interviews in the lead up and in host how many people have been working hard to overcome that Tickford advantage so far this weekend, and Red Bull and Mark Dutton saying they're doubled down, continuing to change the cars to try and find a little bit of additional performance.
So this is for Boost Mobile qualifying now. We're looking for the top 18 cars, but this is just like a shootout right now. One lap only will determine who gets through, and there'll be a tale of woe somewhere. You don't need to make too much of a mistake around here to lock a wheel or miss an apex.
Thomas Randall's just gone quicker in Sector 1. You mentioned pre-session that he could be one to watch in this session. Prior to that, it was Cam Waters, his teammate, that had been faster in Sector 1. There is Thomas Randall. So he's gone the best part of a tenth quicker than anybody else in the field in that first sector. Will Brown, car number 1, reigning champion, turn 8 for him. He's got half the lap done now. We'll get an understanding of where he sits in the queue. He's gone faster than anybody else in the mid-sector. That bodes well for him. Up at the final complex, this is where it was lively last night, and an extraordinary last several hundred metres to the flag in the back end of race number 2 of the championship. Beautiful shift for Will out of second into third gear. No wheel spin, no sliding. This is going to get him at or very near the top. He's chasing a 29.6 and he's done a 29.5, Will Brown. His teammate jumps in behind him on a 29.6. Waters splits them now on a 9.5. And Thomas Randall delivers on the promise and moves up also on a 1 minute 29.5 for only 2/100ths of a second. Remembering it, 18 drivers will advance, and at the moment down on the fringe is Murray, and he's right on the edge with Will Davison. In fact, Cooper's just been moved back one spot. Will's come up, so is Aaron Love into position number 17.
Brody Kostecki up now to 4th. Nice job. Bryce Forward again, showing good pace this weekend. Up 11 spots. Will Davison, from a shocking evening last night, comes up 13 spots to 6th. Jack LeBrock comes up to 9th. Mostert's 10th. Kai Allen's done a good job. He's just in behind him. Cam Hill up 10 spots to 8th. Heimgartner is 15th. Wow. And Di Pasquale has just knocked them all off. He's come up 15 spots. He's shown form all weekend. He has gone to P1. Well done.
P1, nice work.
And we've only got 8 minutes of qualifying in this part 2 of qualifying for our 3rd race of the season. That's coming up in the coverage this afternoon, Jess. So it's high intensity and only sufficient time for one run. So they'll be right on high alert now to try and get the most out of the session.
Please.
Meaning the knife edge of this
is
is
now
make a little slip up, you pay a big price. So several drivers yesterday, and this is always typical of qualifying, that went through that process. Jack LeBrock was cranky with himself because he just made a little mistake, and then it's so much harder to be able to claw back during the race.
So LeBrock's already on a lap there. So he's done a pretty good job in the first sector. He's about 1.5 away. Chad?
Well, he was the last driver into pit lane to actually make that call and get out in time. They decided when they went out and did that one out lap to bring him straight in and get him this clean racetrack. They are 4 new tyres on that car right now. If I was sitting in 10th, which is Ryan Wood, you'd be a very nervous man right now.
Yeah, there's certainly 2 guys out there trying very hard to knock him out of the 10 for Boost Mobile qualifying. Here we go. Here's Will Brown, top left of screen. On the bottom right-hand side is the Tyre Power Camaro. And the number is pretty good. That number for LeBrock will get him in based on what that number is at the moment. So he's done a beautiful job at the 2nd sector. That number will put him up to 4th or 5th on the current regime of times we saw.
So LeBrock in the tyre power entry for Erebus, who had a tough qualifying yesterday, fighting for his life here to try and squeak into the top 10. Is it enough? And it certainly is. Position number 4, and that bumps Ryan Wood out, as Chad was suggesting a moment ago.
Here we go. Let's have a listen. Nice throttle progression. First sector for Brown was actually almost exactly 1/100th faster than LeBrock. What's it do on the next one?
On the current projection, it's going to be right on the fringe.
Yeah, he's a couple tenths away.
38.8, plays 38.5, the best that we've seen. So it proves if you can get organised, you can squeeze a second run in these 8-minute sessions on this racetrack. He's chasing the car. He doesn't have premium grip, having already taken a bite out of these tyres. Jack LeBrock has just proven that you can wriggle out of the noose at the back end of it. They're watching it.
Now it's Randall.
Is it going to be good enough to get in?
It does.
It is. Can you believe that? Will Brown has managed to pull one out of the fire and bumps Thomas Randall and gets in by the tiniest of margins. It is 0.001. That is ridiculous. Question of don't count your chickens in this game until the checkered flag drops and it's all done and dusted. So Waters over the top of Feeney, and have a look at the name at the bottom. That's the one that raised the eyebrows. In fact, you could say the same for Jack LeBrock. Beautiful work by both teams, both drivers under extreme pressure to respond, and they've now earned their place into the Boost Mobile Top 10 Shootout.